Our body gets very stressed. You may feel good in the short run, but what I care about is the long run. So if you look at the clinical trials of doing it, the first thing is there's about a 40% dropout. So it's very hard to do. The second is you don't lose no more weight than conventional diets. And when you start looking at blood markers like LDL, the bad cholesterol, it doesn't go down. And so what I care about is losing weight and the long-term health. The way to do that is 3 meals a day or 2 meals in your case. It's just the regularity that's key and nothing in between. Protein and fats dominating each meal.
So for some people, this system's going to work because if they say if they eat in the middle of the day, everyone else is eating garbage and they'll just collapse. And so, giving themselves restrictions helps to keep them on the road that they want to be on. But are there some people who, should not try this? They should probably look for something else.
Oh, well, there are people with diabetics, pregnant women, people with existing health condition, heart disease, and other. You don't want to put your body on a starvation in a stress mode diet. It's really not healthy. But the key is, all these fad diets, they are exactly that, fad diets. We all want to figure out a way to hack the human body. I figured out a way to lose weight. The simple thing is, evolutionarily, we were made to have 2 or 3 meals and nothing in between. Eat real food, 2 to 3 meals a day, nothing in between is the healthiest way to do it. These fads are just that because it's not just short term. You have to look long term. These are dramatic interventions in your life you're making. And so the question is, what does it mean 5, 10, 20 years out for heart disease, Alzheimer, and cancer? In most of the cases, we don't have that data.
And hey, those are the diseases that are killing us in this country, and that's really what you should be focused on.
A lot of but Lad's focused on miracles.
We all want to look good, right?
What's your breakfast?
He said an egg. He has a hard-boiled egg.
Well, this is a short show, but this is to kind of counteract Mr. Michael Thomas Fazio's belief or statement that he's lost 5 inches of belly in 131 hours. And what he's actually doing is stressing out his whole body. I mean, I don't care. Go all the way with that. Seriously, you know what I'm saying? Go all the way with that. But truthfully, the only way that you properly can do safe fasting is to skip 1 meal per day. That's it. Your body is made to have at least 2 meals a day. Okay, of course, throw the crusty shit away. Throw the fat-causing type of foods away. And the kind of fasting that he's doing is not even helping with the LDL levels. It's not even affecting that. The bottom line is that you have to have at least 2 meals a day. You are allowed, not that somebody's giving you permission, but you can fast a day a week or something, and you could do that. But one of the safest, most efficient, and I say it again, safest methods to do is to just skip a meal. Now, for example, one guy, what he does is he doesn't have his breakfast, or mostly they'll skip lunch. Have your breakfast, you'll skip lunch, okay, and you'll have your dinner, but you'll eat sensibly. Okay, sensibly. You're not going to stuff 25 prawns down your mouth or whatever, sensibly. And I have personally not heard of anybody in 131 hours, not even a dog, losing 5 inches of belly fat. No, I don't think so. I don't think so at all. Here's the deal. It is true that what you put in your mouth is going to determine how much weight you gain or not. Fasting, it's not a fad. Understand, this is some serious shit. But when you're dealing with fucking idiots, who are so desperate and realize how obese they are, and they want to try the magic pill. In this case, it's not a magic pill. They think it's a magic solution to, I'm just going to starve my body for, 10 days or whatever. You could survive that. But underlying or unbeknownst health conditions, when you're not working under the supervision of a nutritionist or doctor, can have some deadly results doing something like that. Okay, and then you're going to exert yourself outside, you're going to work in the yard, whatever the hell it is. Yeah. I've been on a full liquid fast since August 3rd. Nah, I don't buy that. Can't buy that. The urge to eat is just too much, and you're doing harm. You could be doing, well, you're not going to burn a lot. That's the whole thing. Let me tell you something. Like the cardio thing. I mean, I go on a treadmill, and I've been doing that. It's not going to pull much weight off me. It's what I stuff in my mouth. Okay? You could lose a little bit of weight with the walking, running, if you're healthy enough to run, if you can go to a treadmill. You could do all that. Sure, you can. But you're not going to lose a lot of weight. That's over a long period of time. Your diet is the whole thing. But you don't starve your body in that way. You could do it intermittently. Yes. Is it good actually to do a little fasting here and there? Yes. It actually is. It could help with your longevity. It most certainly could. And I'm telling you that. The way this goober is doing it, he wants this overnight results practically, he wants to get rid of all that weight. A little bit too late, really, in his case, because he's got a foot on the banana peel and one foot in the grave to begin with. Any other underlying health conditions, and then you want to go fast, go over 131, 150 hours, whatever the hell. No, man. Only stupid people do that. Only desperate people do that. You can't do that. You just can't do that. Okay? That's not the way it works. But don't listen to me.
What our body strives for is regularity. So when it knows when you're going to have breakfast, insulin and cortisol go up, and then they go down after you eat. And then the same is true for dinner. So I don't care whether you have 2 meals or 3 meals a day, regularity, what counts. No snacks in between.
Right.
Intermittent fasting.
So what you're saying, so just so I'm clear, I have a very like an egg for breakfast, and then I don't eat anything until my evening meal, which is usually 7:30, 8 o'clock at night.
It is.
I get out
This
of
is a
work.
personal consultation, isn't it?
That's intermittent fasting, right?
Do you want to lie down while we talk? Or
Clearly.
Just give me a couch.
Here's my food diary.
Charge me $300 an hour.
And that's healthy. That's fine.
That is healthy.
Yes, so that's fine. What's not fine is binge for 5 days and take 2 days of fasting. What's not, fine is doing long periods of not eating.
Okay.
Our body gets
There you
very
go.
stressed. You may feel good in the short run, but what I care about is the long run. So if you look at the clinical trials of doing that, the first thing is there's about a 40% dropout. So it's very hard to do. The second is you don't lose no more weight than conventional diets. And when you start looking at blood markers like LDL, the bad
You're not going to lose any more weight than conventional diets. And the LDL?
cholesterol, it doesn't go down.
Cholesterol
So
don't
what
go
I care
down.
about is losing weight and the long-term health. The way to do that is 3 meals a day or 2 meals in your case. It's just the regularity that's key and nothing in between. Protein and fats dominating each meal.
So for some people, this system's going to work because if they say if they eat in the middle of the day, everyone else is eating garbage and they'll just collapse. And so, giving themselves restrictions helps to keep them on the road that they want to be on. But are there some people who, should not try this? They should probably look for something else.
Oh, Nutramed, this, that. Guys, it's a multi-billion, trillion-dollar industry, the lose weight industry, when the simplest thing you could fucking do is just simply to eat less. Okay, you had in the past, you had things called the Scarsdale diet, there's this diet, there's the Atkins diet, you got this and that. It's just a way for fucking companies to make fucking money. When the simplest thing you could do is just eat less. You don't have to starve yourself for like a week, 10 days or whatever. Those are mentally retarded people and very easily influenced people that don't do the research about this, okay? It's more detrimental to starve yourself like that, not knowing or perhaps knowing that you have underlying health conditions. It is the worst atmosphere to do this kind of stuff. But don't listen to me. Don't listen to me. I mean, I don't know anything. I told you, man, I don't have to have no fucking degree to be educated on different topics, I could lose about 2 inches of my belly. Sure, I could. But I'm not going about it by starving myself like that. I'm going to try to eat properly, along with some exercise. I told you, you'd have to run 7 miles to burn the calories off one candy bar. In fact, just now, guess what I had? A Toberloni. I don't know how you pronounce it. Toberloni or Toberloni. This is from Switzerland. Actually, my girlfriend's daughter, her boyfriend, who has a job and he travels, and we even got this stuff from Pakistan. Uh, it's kind of just specialty candies with nougat and different things. It's real. Oh my God, I don't know what that cost. Got this Tourbillon from either Italy or Switzerland. While they're dark chocolate, but it has all these little nut type things in there. I mean, really rich dark chocolate. Anyway, yeah, I took that because I'm confident that I could do something like that here and there. Okay. Nutra-Med, Nutra-this, Nutra-that. It's all bullshit. It's all bullshit. The simplest thing to do is keep your mouth shut if you want to lose weight. Keep it shut anyway if you got a big fucking mouth. But you want to lose weight? Do what's great. Take the shovel away and just put a spoon in your mouth instead. That's all. It's what you put in your body. The old saying happened to be true. You are what you eat. Fuck all these things. If you really want to get healthy, we're going to a Mediterranean type of diet. I don't mean like lose weight. Diet meaning the kind of foods that you put in your body. Diet does not always mean you're losing weight. Diet means what's going in your mouth. Okay? Yeah. That's all. That's all you need to do. Otherwise, you have to wind up going for a fucking gastric bypass like fucking Dumberto did. Stop shoveling that shit in your mouth. It's not complicated. It's just not complicated. My God.
Oh, well, there are people with diabetics, pregnant women, people with existing health condition, heart disease, and other. You don't want to put your body on a starvation in a stress mode diet. It's really not healthy.
There you go. These are experts talking about it. I'm not an expert. But, you know, when you know everything and a real man knows everything, I'd love to see him collapse on fucking camera. Yeah, go in your yard in 95-degree weather. Show us what a real man does. Yeah, show how uncoordinated you will be, fall off the fucking ladder, fall off the roof of your shack because you're not eating. We'll all get entertainment value out of that for sure. God, what you people listen to on here and actually fucking believe what you believe. Right back. Okay, I'm back, but I don't have how much longer here. Okay, let me bring this over here for a minute. I'm going to talk on here for even a small period of time. Let me at least get comfortable for a second here. Now, I've noticed, I have definitely noticed, since I've been using the treadmill, you just basically, you can't, and at any age really, but especially when you're at what they call senior ages, you know, juniors. Yeah, of course you're better off doing exercise because you got, and when you don't, you know, you just have a whole catastrophe of things that happen. Now, I don't want to go into family members, but I do have a family member that just discovered two more things. Another thing he has to worry about. It's like, how much things could be wrong with this guy? I understand why, but he's one of these who does everything opposite of what you're supposed to do. My family, they were like my mom, and pretty much everybody, you know, did not eat properly, you know, and not going for maintenance, you know, like seeing a doctor, getting a blood test. And some of it, I'm sure, had to do with not having the expenses to go and do that all the time. And it's kind of like a thing here in the Philippines. You know, we'll call it preventive maintenance. Okay. And going to see a doctor now and then and get your, you know, CBC, get your blood test done and everything else and monitor certain things. It's the same thing. I mean, they were like that. Okay. And henceforth, you know, they had their problem. Your lifestyle is going to make a difference too. What you did from when you were a teenager all the way up until the present age. Have you been abusing your body, and how many ways have you been abusing it? 1 way, 2 ways, 3 ways, 10 ways. I mean, it's all going to make a difference on your longevity. That's the bottom line of all this. So you want to lose weight? You just don't shovel the kind of food that perhaps you're shoveling in your mouth. You know what? You could even eat your regular 3 meal. You heard a recording I just played. You could even eat your regular 3 meals a day. Just don't eat anything in between. But the secret is what you're going to eat on your 3 meals per day. It's not rocket science. It's not rocket. You got these idiots that go on these fucking crash diets, unsupervised diets, are the ones that drop dead trying to do it. Now, if this guy were talking about croaks, and I don't give a shit either way if he does, okay, I wouldn't shed a tear for him. But if he does, I would not. Now, is he really not eating for 100 something hours? You know what? I doubt it. Because he's a bullshit artist. And he's been all his fucking life. He'll tell you anything that you want to hear. That's how these people have gotten along all their life. Do I truly believe that he is fasting and he hasn't eaten in like 7 days, whatever the hell it's. Then his energy level would be non-existent. He wouldn't be able to get off his makeshift cardboard bed. But I'm a real man, he says. A real man could go a week on an unsupervised diet when he already has existing obesity problems and any other problem this guy has, and metabolically, biologically, with his infection, diabetes, more likely for this guy. You have to have a supervised diet to do this shit. Anybody who tries to do at an advanced stage and being obese, that tries to do a crash diet like that is going to crash, literally, not figuratively. In other ways, you're stressing the body out. And contrary what he believes, or many people believe, that you're not even helping your LDL ratios down the way he's doing it. Okay? So in fact, he's harming his body rather than helping. Okay? There are proper ways and structured ways to perform, fasting. And there's plenty of articles on there. But you'll probably see, if you do some reading on the internet, we are in the internet age, Google and the research, search engines, that we could find the information you want. Now, where he get his information from, okay, I could see perhaps even a younger person trying to do what he's trying to do, okay, and get a little better results, but educated, doing it in an educated and perhaps a supervised way of doing such. What this guy is doing is like a mad, is what a madman would do. He wants to lose weight. Okay, it's probably too late for him anyway. I mean, really, it's probably too late for him. Okay, his heart's been under a lot of pressure with the weight and everything. He's probably got more cholesterol in his system. Any doctor that's going to perform angioplasties or whatever, different things, they'd be there for fucking 5 hours pulling out strands of plaque and everything else that's especially in his carotid artery. I mean, it could kill you. But like I said, don't listen to me. Don't listen to me. I don't know what I'm talking about. You see, guys, I would ever talk about anything regarding like health issues on here, because I got to be careful what I say. And I tell you right off front, but I do have the capability of reading and learning. And I could tell you that the way this guy is going about it, and by the way, like I said, I don't think he's gone that long without eating. He'll tell you whatever he wants to tell you because that's what he's known for. He's a liar. He's a scam artist. He's a bullshit artist. He's a storyteller. Nobody generally buys his stories except the people that, I think even the people that kiss his ass don't buy his shit. To tell you the truth, I really don't. That he's doing it in a very dangerous way. And don't be surprised if he did a live show and he collapses right on his live show or falls off the roof of his shack or an attempt to climb the ladder or get down the ladder till he falls on his ass yet again. Do not follow this, what he's trying to do without knowing what you're doing first. I know there's a lot of people out there that want to lose weight. I understand. I don't even feel comfortable with a lousy 2 inches on my belly. I don't. I seriously don't. And when you have a big belly like that and you're grossly obese, man, I understand it on a level. Never experienced that kind of obesity, but I imagine that it really slows you down. It limits what you can do. If you take a fall, it's going to be a big fall. And the one thing you don't want to do when you fall, I'm going to tell you right now, when you're an older age, and I don't have to be a doctor to tell you this, if you fracture your hips or break your hips at an older age, you've got about 12 months to live because everything metabolically falls apart. You're going to become more sedentary, and your body's going to go through extreme inflammation, which affects every organ in your body. It's over with. About another year, they wind up dying. Don't, watch how you walk, watch where you're walking, take it slow, navigate properly. Don't make a makeshift ladder like this real man does. They'll fall apart anyway, the real carpenter that he is. Don't do anything as absolutely stupid as this guy does. He's going to fall off that fucking ladder sometime, okay? Because he's too fucking cheap to go out and buy a real... I mean, look what he's living in. Does that tell you anything about this guy at all? He's not well. He's not well. And what he's doing is absolutely fucking... He tries to present himself as being an intellect. He's not. He's made a fool of himself on his show in so many goddamn ways with his lies and bullshit and his claims to fame and claims to be a real man. A real man with a real brain would not be... Okay? The solution is simple. I will sum it up. Control what you put in. Forget the Atkins diet, Scarsdale diet, the this diet, the new fad diet for this, the new fad, the products they're offering. It's all bullshit. It has to do with what you put in your mouth, what's in that food that's put in your mouth that can actually help you naturally lose weight, naturally get your should be, or your cholesterol levels, get the plaque gone from your body. You could do that with diet and supplementation. But to go and try to show people that you're well, I always said a real man don't have boobs, right? So how are you a real man if you're going to starve your body unsupervised, like this clown? It's an accident. Wait. Oh, Jeff Hart says he had a proper ladder and fell on a backhoe loader bucket too. How could I forget that? I have a video. Boy, that was a nasty looking shit. I can't even imagine. Then what he does for pain, I got to add this in. That guy was taking like full strength ibuprofen, like 4. Do you know what ibuprofen does to your fucking liver if you take? Do you realize what that? In his liver, he has what you call anytime any one of us, me, you, I'm not excluded. If you have a little belly or something, and if you have a big belly, you'll get what you call a fatty liver. Okay, which is not good for your liver. Okay, he has a very fatty liver. Okay, and God knows what else. He's been a drinker in his life, and don't buy what he says. Warren already told me how much rum he used to drink. Remember a big box of all those empty bottles of rum? He was drinking that shit on a daily basis, and I still believe he said he quit smoking, but he's only going to tell you what he wants to tell. He's only going to show you what he wants to show you. Why does he feel, which is a better question, that he has to prove he's a man? I think anybody that has to prove they're a man is having a Napoleon complex. He's doubting his own self on his manlyhood. We're already seeing that the size of his mushroom, the size of his fucking little third leg, is the size of a fucking mushroom. I don't know, would you call yourself a real man? if you had a fucking penis the size of a fucking, you know, the, you know, you can still be a real man if you have a small penis, I guess. It's really your whole psychological makeup, your emotional makeup, whether you're hateful, whether you're very vindictive. If you're the opposite of that, if you show that you're a caring person, you're a man. If you could exhibit love instead of hate, then you're a real man. And you don't have to carry it. The woman says, is that a tool in your pocket or you just have? Well, you know, guys, those that can, and those that cannot, okay, he can't back up any story that is ever told on his show. Yes, we're talking the whole show about one guy. You got that right. I played a recording from a professional that says that basically the way he's doing it is wrong. Of course, he's going to say, I'm researcher, bang the pot, bang a lot, get a lot. Jesus Christ. I'm going to tell you straight off, guys. If I had to look like him, be his weight, his health, and the way he's living, I'd be. He has nothing to live for except for YouTube. I got a life outside of YouTube. Okay. I got a woman that loves me that I love. We got a family here. We got 2 kids over here. Okay. I have some things to look forward to, but when you don't have anything to look forward to in your life like that, that's when you get miserable. That's when you start attacking. Jeff says, does he have air conditioning in that shack? I can't imagine. He has an air conditioner up there, and I don't know if it works. If it does, I really highly doubt he uses it because he doesn't want to. He doesn't want to run up it. He's a hoarder, Jeff Hart. He's a hoarder. Okay. Bill Smith. Yeah, I know. I'm back again. Hey, as I said, I don't count the shows I do. If I got something to talk about, I'll come on and do it. I was actually, the other thing too, I'm finding out my body's getting into a better rhythm now. Since I've been off. I was on benzos. I was on alprazolam for more years than I could count. I didn't really use it for the anxiety though. I used it as a sleep aid. Okay, and I didn't take much of that. I took like a chip of a half a milligram tablet. So basically, 0.25. That's a quarter of a milligram. They go up to about 2 milligrams. I took like 0.25, and that really helped me go to sleep. Now I've been off that shit. Number one. And number 2, I've been, working on a treadmill. I mean, nothing sensational. Maybe up to 2 miles a day. I have to build up. You see, you got to do things right. Not the way he's doing with his diet thing. And by the way, as I said, if you just tuned in, I don't buy it that he hasn't eaten anything in 161 hours or whatever the hell that the claim that he's making of me. I don't buy it. It's like anything he's ever said. I don't buy it. I don't buy with this guy. Okay. I don't buy anything either, okay? But I tell you, I'll continue what I started to say. I have always been a person never would take naps. My father used to. If he wasn't working, I'd see him in the midday, be on the couch, and he'd be snoring away. And a lot of people that start to get especially into their 50s, they seem to need to take these little power naps, whatever. You're not supposed to take a very long nap, though. You don't want to do that. It's actually not. But you could take a nap. But I noticed that I'd be in my living room. And like today, she was playing this karaoke a little bit, not loud, which is boring to me, Now I'm sitting there, and it's like any time I sit there during the day, how many times I'm just jumping. I see that I'm falling asleep and my body's telling me, no, you don't want to sleep during the day. You don't want to sleep during I don't know what does. But I find myself taking these intermittent naps that I don't even realize I'm taking. I just kind of sit in my chair, which is a leather recliner, and I all of a sudden find myself, I can even hear my snore. It's a very temporary thing. When I hear my own snore, because I don't know, for some reason I'm telling myself, no, I'm not supposed to nap during the day. I'm not sure what it is that's going on, but I will fall off, and I will take a nap. Didn't plan it. And maybe I should schedule a nap every day. Maybe it's just kind of what happens when you get older, that, even a dog, an average dog, no matter what age, they generally can sleep 14 hours a day. Now, maybe that's what I need, but I just noticed I've been working out, not heavily, and I'll do the dumbbells a little bit. Nothing, nothing incredible. I got the 20-pound steel, whatever it is, dumbbell, uh, and I do 20 reps on each arm. So one arm, I do 10, switch to the other, another 10, back to another 10, and I could do that. Okay, that makes a difference. It really does. Because you've got to build up some muscle tone too. You have to. It's important you have muscle to support your skeletal structure, and it's a healthy thing because you need to have muscle because as you get older, you could really get frail. I mean, really frail, not because nobody likes you. They say you're frail. There's nothing. I don't know how tall you guys are. I'm not really a tall man. I'm 5'7" and I weigh like 172, 171, which is not frail at all. Because if you go by science or some bullshit, they're saying I should be at my height 145 or less. And I said, I can't be 145 or less, and I would look frail. I say, fuck that shit. No. If I work in the garden or cut the grass in the heat, I find I will get a cool drink and take a nice nap. Jeff, how old are you anyway? And you live in the Philippines? Do I gather maybe you don't live in the country here in the Philippines? And what would be your age? How about some thumbs up, folks? What would be your age? Oh, and Fazio wants to do a show. Of course, he doesn't stop with me. Of course, the Frank asked 200 times for donations on his show. Are you counting, Fazio? Really? Are you jealous that I made a couple of donations this morning? Does that bother you that much? Damn. Perhaps I should get more donations on my show. I probably would drive this guy into a fucking frenzy. You're 63, Mid-Atlantic. Okay. All right, you don't have Mid-Atlantic, USA. Okay. There are things you certainly can do. And do you have any weight problems? Are you overweight, Jeff? Did you work out at all? Do you go for walks? I mean, if I might ask? Because, it's better late than never, I can tell you that. Now, we've all done things to abuse our body. Not all of us. Not everybody smokes but like a half a cigarette down. I don't, I'm the biggest wasteful smoker you could ever. And by the way, the graphics on the Copycat channel, I don't sit there with an ashtray on my bed. I don't smoke in my house whatsoever. Anyway, yes, I use my bike. And very good. I've got a stationary bike and I got the treadmill. And I don't go overboard because you can't. Like this guy claiming that he's going like 161 hours without eating, which I said I don't buy in the first place. It's very you got to work up to something. Like you can't go out like at a bat out of hell when you haven't been a runner, you don't even walk, and just go into a fast walk for an hour or something, you get a fucking heart attack. You got to acclimate yourself. No, I'm not standing on the treadmill like I'm running like a young athlete. No, I set it for 4 miles per hour, which is fast enough. You don't go put it on like 10 miles per hour unless you want to get a fucking cardiac arrest or something. You don't build up to it, then you're gonna hurt yourself, maybe permanently. You have to start off slowly. You could either increase your distance or you can do that in increments. But don't go at it like a bat out of fucking hell thinking you're going to get the results that you want. And I don't feel like hurting myself. Thank you very much. I try to do things in a thought out process, how to go about doing things. I'm not going to do something dangerous. I'm not going to do something that's going to endanger my life like that by going overboard on some form of exercise. And you do what, a half hour to 1 hour total per day of the treadmill? That's, hey man, I do a half an hour, and which really equates that speed. Well, really about a half a mile. But then I do it again later on and I wind up total doing maybe 1.25 miles per day. But then as time goes by, I will increase that. Okay, this is the proper way to do that. But I will tell you it's made a little noticeable difference to me in some ways. Okay, I think I can fall asleep a little fast. No matter what, though, I'm sick. And you better get at least 6 hours a night sleep, which recommended at any age is 8. But if you could get some, and you're doing REM, you're dreaming, you get 6 hours of sleep plus in there, then you're doing pretty good. Anything below that on a regular basis, you got to stick to a certain pattern. If you're used to eating 3 meals a day, you continue to eat your 3 meals a day, but decide what your number 2 decides how much of that you're putting in your mouth. Stay on your 3 meals a day, or better yet, the healthier thing to do without eating. And if you really be losing weight, you got to have patience. Skip 1 meal per day. I think everybody can do that, and you could do that. So when I saying that he's going 161 hours, 170 hours without eating, I don't buy, because he wouldn't be able to get out of his cardboard. He wouldn't be able. His body, because he's so obese, has a need for calories. And by the way, it would take, and that's why I know the average necessary intake of calories for a man, what was it, 2,100 calories a day. Reduce the amount of caloric, then you could lose a pound. Okay, every 2,100 that you don't do, and don't do it by that kind of fasting though, you could lose. So without being redundant, I'll stop at that and just say that don't buy this goober story. I don't buy it. I never bought anything. And it's none of his business on what I do as far as super. It seems that everybody is jealous of each other on here and is so concerned about how much money everybody else is making on their show. I'll say it again. I'm not in competition with it. Okay, Jeff Hart, and you'll hurt yourself. But, you're talking to the man that claims he knows everything. There's nobody smarter than him on YouTube. Or nobody could do anything. Napoleon complex, we could call it many things on his side. Anyway, that guy's got one foot on a banana peel and the other foot in a fucking grave. We all know that. You could look at him and tell. He won't be around too much longer to deal with his lies and bullshit and everything else. Don't worry about it, guys. He's got to entertain himself somehow. He has nothing else to do with his life. Can you imagine living in the tropics in a little less than 11 by 11 that's constantly caving in because of termites? And his little kitchen cooking area that he has in there is right next to where he goes. I have women around me. I had one real girlfriend the whole ever lived in this country. Talk about a fucking loser. Talk about a fucking loser. And he's going to talk about me. I'm a wicked looker. I'm in a long-term relationship. Okay? I got everything that he does not have. And I'm doing things as I could in a healthy way. Mind the smoke. That guy's a rummy. He's a fucking rummy. He drinks. Okay? And he got kicked out because the motherfucker was eating him out of house and home. They were losing profit. And he was taking that shit home in a little plastic bag so he didn't have to go spend money on another meal. This guy, he's the icing on the fucking cake. There's one guy in here that he just can't afford to talk about anyone. Jeff Hart says, how can you form a nice house and go for a complete mess? Well, his house in Florida was a complete mess. You guess you've never seen the pictures inside that was acquired. And the pictures inside, you wouldn't believe it. How nasty and dirt and rusted. The sink in the bathroom. It was disgusting, like they were never, ever washed. They were never washed. The paint was peeling off. The yard was strewn with junk. And he owed the county items But for all the shit and equipment, and he was a pack. He was a hoarder. He was a hoarder. Phew. Oh God, I think I provided it on there. I wish I still had it. It was disgusting. It was from, I think, a real estate or something. I don't know where it was from. Where the hell did I get that from? But it was real. And it was disgusting. And he was living that way. Some things never change, I guess. How could you be so well accomplished that you claim you've been well accomplished? You're living in a fucking shack. Isn't that the reality, rather, of how you really been living? That owned and cars and yachts and being in a fucking shack? Really? Tell me about it. Survey. But he's got to live a fantasy world, because what else does he have? He doesn't have anything. He's miserable. Not just a melting pot face, but he doesn't have a friend. In his heyday on YouTube, especially during the Warren era, God, I mean, even to this day, call me up, guy. This guy will pass the hours and hours. Or messenger. He couldn't let them go. I had enough. He'd been through that with Warren Hunt. And he survives his loneliness is to get people to talk to. Oh, I got some juicy news for you. To get him, an excuse for them to call him up. Do you know the time he spent with my tenants? You familiar with all that lawsuit shit that was going on in Hawaii? The time he spent with them on the phone. He's a fucking rat fink motherfucker he is. What a piece of shit. How much he played on that thing. You know something? I won't even say it, what I was going to say. I'll say it. If he still thinks he has the stamina to build a three... Look, it's never going to happen. The guy's living on Fantasy Island. He's living his brain delusional. He's gotten to the point he's actually... And he talks to himself. I don't know if you... When he's going to walk away from the camera to do something, he thinks they don't hear him. But I've heard him on numerous occasions. He talks to himself. Because he has nobody else to talk to. That's why he spends 6 to 8 hours or 10 hours a day doing some fucking bullshit. And when he's off, he has to talk to somebody on the phone because, what else can he do? He needs a human to talk to. And hey, that's not, well, he's beyond natural. It's supernatural in his case. It's natural for you to want to relate to another human. After all, you share the earth with other humans. Isolated as he is. Isolated. Area. Read me. I know what it looks like. Okay? And I know it is it's horrible. You've seen it graphically on people's shows or on his show. It's really that bad. It makes you wonder what human could live like that. Look, I've seen the poorest Filipinos. Than him. Did you see the videos of his mom and dad? Yeah, I did see that. Boy, his father, man. Man, it's like a carbon copy. Even the voice. Wow, I never seen anything like that. The only thing I've ever seen like that was the Baldwin brothers, or the actors, the Baldwins. You know they're the Baldwin family. You look at any one of those brothers in the famous Baldwin, and you know they're a Baldwin. It's uncanny. Well, he has thing with his father. Now, I'm not sure what his father died of. Did you ever hear what his father died of? He's going to go down the same road. He keeps things up. I think he knows he's on his way out. He just doesn't give a fuck. Yeah, like a fucking clone, man. I thought it was him or something. I saw that. Holy shit on a crack. Popeye says, holy shit on a cracker. That's incredible. Wow. You know their family, right? There's no question about it. But, let the guy, he's delusional. It gets him by his day. That's what it does. All right? It gets him by his day. else better to do but to be miserable and try to make other people feel miserable as he's feeling, which is not a right thing to do. Why don't you just improve your life so you don't have to be that miserable? Why are you being so miserable to yourself? And why are you trying to be like a projectile vomit, misery projection to other people? I don't know, find the nearest bingo parlor like Popeye does, Go with the other old dying people. Don't worry, one day we're going to look back on him and we're all going to remember all the antics he pulled. Good laugh about it. But he's not doing very well. I can tell you that now. I'm not his doctor, okay? I don't have a crystal ball. But I know enough by looking at him and by the diet he has, the abuse he's done to his body, obesity. I can make an educated guess. That's okay. That I don't think longevity going for him. For 161 hours, if anything, it's going to harm. And there's not a good benefit from that at all. Okay, I'm done rambling on. And myself, I think I made my point. He's full of shit. And Fawzi, I know you're listening to me. You are full of shit. I think what he does is shows he's drinking. That's what I think he's doing. I think he drinks. You know what? He did say one time in the past, before I go here, that he couldn't sell rum. I'm not sure how much, but he used to tell everything to Warren. And boy, the shit that he told Warren actually said that he would shove certain drugs up his ass. His system. I don't know what kind of drugs. From me, disclaimer, huge disclaimer. It came from Warren. He used to shove drugs up his ass. I don't know if it was to hide it from the neighbors. I mean, I'm going to quote what Warren said again. Warren said that he was on the lookout a lot. I was selling drugs. Be the lookout man. He would pay me either in cash or drugs. That's what Warren said. Hunt said that. And would talk every intimate thing in their life you could ever told Warren good shit that's something with me. And the life that he's living there, you don't know how that he did. All those empty bottles you see when he had that box on his shelving there full of empty rum bottles, that was real. His consumption, he drank a lot to, try to get him to be able to sleep. Yeah. You learn over time. Sorry about that, Jeff. I didn't see you. It's an LDA, but that's okay. I'm sorry, I didn't see that. I had to scroll. Thank you very much. But, like I said, I don't advocate a lot of things. I don't advocate violence. I don't advocate people doing stupid things to themselves. I may not care about the person, but I will do at least one thing up for them, like the person on YouTube or not. I've always come forward and I said, you know what, man? Stop doing the things you're doing. And I don't mean calling people names and labeling people shit. It's not what I meant. I would always tell people that, look, I have an idea of looking at you, of knowing something about your diet, your age, and everything together, right? Your obesity. All I've ever said to them, and I didn't have to really care for them, is that you're a stick of dog, yourself a quit. Say, well, you're right. But you see, and then doing more things that are bad. Okay. So I'm not really being a hypocrite. In a way I am, because, brother used to laugh at me, say, yeah, you're talking about all this health stuff and you got a cigarette in your hand. Well, he was right. But I said to my brother, I said, look at you. Fuck what you do to your body. I'm at least doing for my body. That's going to make a world of difference. We've all got our vices. Big fucking mouth. Whether you're very vicious and toxic, you shovel food in your mouth instead of eating with a spoon. Whether you're obese, whether you drink or smoke, whether you drugs. Just about everybody out there has some sort of vice. Insane. or here on YouTube that doesn't fit at least one of the above. Tell you the truth. So, take it with a grain of salt what I say. Don't worry about it, man. You could either buy what I say or you don't, because I'm not really selling it, okay? So what I say is not for sale. You buy what I say or not. But if you take a little bit of my advice, you might actually learn something. And by the way, a lot of things I talk about, I do apply to myself. It's not like I'm just throwing out the bait and hoping whoever just, I'm going for certain fish. And I'm not getting the fish that I want. I just throw the bait out. Whoever bites it. I mean, look, I don't care who takes the bait. But I'm not really baiting you. I'm helping you. And you can look at it any way you... I took the wrong profession, really. I took the wrong direction in life. I should have been a nutritionist or something. But you don't have what I said. You could learn like anybody else. Did out some pretty valuable advice on here. In fact, I'm sure I have. As I said, it could be... That's all. You listen or you don't. But if you want to listen to some fucking boob 11 foot by 11 foot shot into fame. Being a liar, being a delusionist, of being hateful, spiteful, going behind people's backs, giving other people information, talking about rats, and he was coming down on people, calling everybody, "You're a rat." Well, what did he do with my tenants? He was a big rat. He was the biggest fucking rat that exists on the planet. And what do you think he does on the phone with everybody else on YouTube that he talks to? He called me up. I got some information for you. Oh, what a waste of life, Jeff. Monumental waste of life. Birth was given. What you did with poor mother had to go through all that process. And what was the end results of it? Loser. Another loser came on the planet. Wow. Thank you, Jeff, for the super chat. Thank you very much. I'm not doing no more shows today. I did enough today. Okay. I was able to... There's still some stuff I got to attend to around here. So try to get a little bit motivated here. A message to... Dude, why are you so overly jealous of people that are making super... What's... You haven't been making as much. Why are you so concerned? A few bucks here and there? Because you want them all to give it to you, right? Well, it doesn't always work that way. You haven't been doing too well these days on the super chat. Yeah, take care, Jeff. We'll definitely talk together. Not today. I'm done with doing any shows today. Contrary to anybody believes, I'm not on here 24 hours a day. Generally, if I have something to say, I'll pop on. And I usually want to make it a very short show, but then it starts to be a little dialogue on just a little bit longer. So, yeah. Here, thank you for, if you haven't subscribed to my show, please consider. Hit the notification button, hit the thumbs up when you can. Sounding like Barry Jordan. What how Barry's doing today? I don't know. I don't hear he's doing too well, but I understood. And the information I need to talk about in regards to him, and it's not really a big topic on here. It's fantastic, isn't it? I couldn't even stand looking at his fucking face. Nevertheless, to hear him talk. The Yellow Man guy has the same effect on me. I can't stand that smirk that needs to be... Well, he did have it knocked off by Ricky. Oh, he got that smirk knocked off. Call the police! Call the police! Tough guy. You offer $10,000, anybody's gonna stand up to him or some shit like that. What a delusionist. And the supervision. My God, Magnum. My God, Magnum. Yeah, smirk is gone there. Okay, sick bad. And I have taken a lot of people off my my block list. Not a lot, but I have taken people off. So I try to be fair about this, but not if you're an extremist. If you're an extremist for my channel, you are not taken off. Okay, so. And we'll catch you probably tomorrow. I don't know how early you guys are up. I know it's not the right time. I get up early in the morning around 5 o'clock or so. And it's cool in the house. and I could do some very clear thinking early in the morning is what I like to do my shows. But if there's a better time I should be doing the shows, let me know. And I do realize that a lot of my audience, in fact, analytics, 45% of my audience don't even live. 45% are not even living here. Something on that on the next show. And here in the Philippines, I'm going to ask the questions why and what brings you to listen to that's very grounded and based the Philippines topics and people doing shows from the Philippines. So we'll get to those questions on information about yourself, because a lot of people don't want to give out their identities. I partially don't blame you, really, of why you're on YouTube in this particular genre at another time. Okay, I'm out of here. I'm here because you're there.